Okay, so we're back with another match ramble, and I've just finished this one, and Jesus, this is level as with Shibata and Ibushi, and if you watch that one, you know how, oh my god, what a masterpiece that was. This is that level, and oh, can't wait to talk about it. This is, even going out, so the match is from NOAH, Great Voyage 2005. It is, in my opinion, the true god of I love Kenny, but this is the true god of pro wrestling. Kenta Kobashi versus the grandpa himself, Minoru Suzuki. Now, I've wanted to watch this match ever since I knew it fucking existed. I really have. Because the idea of Suzuki versus Kobashi is so alien to me. That, like, Joe and Kobashi having that match is so wild to me. This is that level because it just feels like, even though Suzuki's been going for how long, and obviously Kobashi, and they're both Japanese, it feels like that's a natural. It just doesn't feel right. It feels insane. It feels like a meshing of two worlds. Oh my god. I watched this match, and it's on YouTube, and again, before we get into it, highly suggest everyone watches it. Jesus Christ. But, like, I said it in the comments under the video, this match, if anyone watches it, let me know if you read the comment, because it's, I thought it was very good. That little analysis, if you want any more. I thought this is the biggest example of the superhero and a supervillain in wrestling. And I don't know what it's comparable to. Obviously, you'd say Batman, Joker, Superman, Luthor. It's not even like that. It's so hard to define. It's like, Kobashi's that undeniable, constant... Like, Kobashi's your Superman. He is Superman. And real life, and generally fucking is. And he's just so... Kobashi's magical. We'll get into that in a minute. But Kobashi's the everlasting hope. He's non-stop resilience. And not an extent where it's like, you know, the modern resilience spots. Kobashi himself is resilience. That's what he represents to me. And then Suzuki's this sadistic piece of shit. Genuinely will torture. He doesn't want to beat the piss out of you. He wants to torture you. He's different. And don't get me wrong, Suzuki's the smaller guy here. You don't realise how tall Suzuki is going up against Kobashi. He's not far off his size, which is nuts. But you compare this to one of my favourite matches ever, again, is Kobashi versus Samoa Joe in Ring of Honor. Same year, I think. Which fucking wild. I just realised that shit. And in that match, obviously Joe's a much different build than Suzuki. So Suzuki's just like, well, Joe's trying to outpower Kobashi. It's toe-to-toe. That's what makes that match's 10 out of 10 match. This one's so much different because Suzuki's doing the smart, I think, and that's what I really like. It's more cunning, it's more sadistic, where he's limiting Kobashi. He damages the hand, and obviously if you know Kobashi, that's the way to go, and Kobashi feels it. Now, even from Kobashi's end as well, the match is like 25 minutes, and it's a great match again. It's a phenomenal match, it's great, Jesus. And what I love about it is, so with Kobashi, even the first 5 to 10, I don't even think it's 10, I think it's about the first 5 minutes, can be a lot slower. The match isn't the most high-speed match, but Jesus, it builds itself phenomenal. There's nothing like it. And, like, so the first 5 is kind of just Kobashi trying to, he's telling Suzuki, come on, go, let's go. He's putting the arm out straight away, and Suzuki just won't do it. He wants nothing to do with it. And then he eventually goes for it, and he's just kind of limiting Suzuki. He's kind of trying to control Suzuki, which I thought was very interesting in a psychology sense. To be like, okay, he knows what Suzuki's about going into this. He just wants to limit Suzuki so he can, minor damage as possible. But Suzuki obviously eventually gets that, starts damaging the hand, of like the joint manipulation. If you know Suzuki, you know what he's like. He's a bastard. And yeah, oh my god, he does that. He fucking doing the hand. He really damages Kobashi's hand. Really does, by just the joint manipulation alone. If it was Brian, he would have done the stomp. But it's not. But no, you know what I mean? It's incredible arm work. And just the match itself, it's very much, from that point, it's very much Suzuki controlling, torturing Kobashi. But this is truly what the magic of Kenta Kobashi is. Kenta Kobashi, it's insane. He can make the crowd turn on a quicker than that. Kobashi could breathe, the crowd's going up for it. I'm going, oh my god, he could do anything. Kobashi's just, there's something magic, it's unexplained. It really isn't. You cannot describe the feel in the Kobashi gives you that rush. It's the way he sells. It's the way, obviously, the opponent sells too. It's the switch of the dime. It's everything about Kobashi. It's magic. It's truly electric. It's everything you can describe, just mythical. It's, again, he's the god. He is god of pro wrestling. Again, I love Kenny. Don't think that's a slight of Kenny Omega. Kobashi feels like the god. He does, and it's the best compliment. Bro, there's a sequence. I had to pause the match. It's the most hype I've ever watching a wrestling match ever, possibly for these wrestling rambles. Anyway, so Kobashi gets Suzuki in the corner and he starts doing the infamous chops, and Suzuki goes like does a rage bait, goes screams at him. So Kobashi still goes, and Kobashi, I think Suzuki's like trying to film it, squinting. Kobashi's chopping. I'm chopping because it's so fucking hype, and he's going like that, and Kobashi goes fuck off, does like a spinning back elbow with a chop. I had to pause the fucking video because I was screaming. I had to fucking pause it because I was kicking like a fucking kid. It's insane. It's the best shit ever. That's Kobashi. That's what Kobashi does. There's a bit of the match where, Jesus, so it's like towards the end, fucking hell, I think that's just pure sweat. I think because I was kicking that much, I've got sweat. I just felt it. It's like there's a split towards the middle of the match where Kobashi has to do like Suzuki's about to essentially get, basically do more torture into Kobashi, and Kobashi just goes fuck off and like does the basic, a throw, a pile driver, not pile driver. There's pile drivers, but basically, a back suplex, and the crowd go up. You're like, Jesus, it's not even like that fantastical of a move. It's just, again, the switch of the arm by Kobashi. It's magical. There's nothing like it ever. I love Brian. I love AJ. I love Kenny. I love Ibushi. I love Shibata. I love all these type of wrestlers. Any wrestler you can think of, whoever you think's the greatest of all time, whatever. No one, god damn it, not a single wrestler ever, at least to my knowledge, could do that. None. I challenge anyone. There's something. It's magic. It's pure. Oh my god. I can't find the words. I'm bad with describing anyway, but Jesus Christ. That emotion, that effect to just go, fuck it, let's go, let's ball. And again, that's a lot of it, a tribute to Suzuki. Suzuki does a lot of the arm work, a lot of sadistic, a lot of kicks. He's doing there's a point where he, so after that chop segment, Kobashi tries to do the rage and fire straight away, and Suzuki dodges it, and everyone's like, whoa, you even yourself, at least me watching the match, I'm like, Jesus Christ, it has that effect. It really does, and oh my god, the match itself to me feels like a novelty. It doesn't feel like this should be a match. It feels like oh my god, this could be a novelty. It's in 2005, Kobashi. I know we had the Joe match, but I don't know how old he was here, and Suzuki's obviously Suzuki. So it's like, it feels like they could. This is a great example of one, how good, just again, how high these two are of the all-time wrestlers ever, and two, just Japanese wrestling. There's no way they phoned that in. No way they phoned that in, and it's so fucking good. I think what I love about it as well is Suzuki gets that nature over where you're watching it and so Kenta will have these small little, Kenta Kobashi will have these small little moments where he's trying to get back, and then Suzuki will get him in an armbar. Suzuki gets a great pile driver on the fucker. I mean, it can't be established how good Suzuki is here, but Jesus, I mean, there's just something so magical about the build of the match. Again, I always say this, a match should have a great pace, a perfect build, and the pace isn't even that back and forward, but it's not gonna be. It's a very much, Suzuki's there to hinder that. Suzuki doesn't want that. Suzuki doesn't go for no pins, he goes for submissions, the rope work, the pain. You see Kenta Kobashi's face in. Oh my god, it's incredible. And bear in mind, you know who Kenta is. So I'm watching this and I'm like, Jesus Christ, if that's Kenta Kobashi getting pulled through that shit, Jesus fuck, that must be immense. And Suzuki's even being like there's a point where they're on the ramp and they fall off the ramp and they're both down on the floor. And Suzuki walks it off and he's snarling, he's looking, he's like piercing his face, proper dick. Oh my god, he's so good. He's so good as the heel. When you watch that match, when you watch that Suzuki, one of my first ever experiences with Suzuki was when he had that entrance to Moxley, and Moxley's putting his head on his hands like, oh my god, and it's like, Jesus Christ, like, this is the guy. That, from this match, this is the fucking guy. It warrants that completely. Don't get me wrong, I've watched Suzuki a few times as well. He warrants that anyway, but this just so amplifies that. And I mean, it's just, it takes your breath away. To me, this feels like a must-watch for anyone. It really does. You can see how I'm reacting. You can see how I'm talking about it. I feel like this is, again, it's not even that similar in terms of the Shibata and Ibushi match. It's a very comparable in level, because I think they're so fucking high level, and you don't hear people talk about these. And bear in mind, obviously with Kobashi, there's that many. You very rarely talk about it. Same with Suzuki. This is a match you gotta watch. I think this is a match that I don't know how, I've not seen anyone talk about this. I think it's a classic. I think this is a masterpiece in psychology, in terms of technical wrestling, in terms of just resilience, underdog especially. It's a very subtle underdog story, in the sense of, obviously it's very, it's built on the legacies of who they are, but how they portray it is excellent. It really is. Oh my god, it's just, it's art. It's pure art. The way Bret Hart talks about his matches, this is that. It does something different, bro. There's something so different. That spot, the hits, and then the chops, when Kenta Kobashi's hitting the chops, to the point where they're screaming in each other's face. Shit, the imagery in this match, the kicks, the knees by Suzuki. Suzuki's a fucker. Like, I fucking hate Suzuki, but he's so good. And Kenta, again, for shots. Kenta's never not going to be loved. You know what I mean? I love Kobashi. Who doesn't? He's just... Words can't do this match justice. Again, you've got to watch it. The finish is obviously a beautiful Raging Fire. Bro, he does a lariat to Suzuki. And I don't know, yeah, it was a Suzuki. And Suzuki sells it, just goes flying. Oh my god, it's impeccable. After the match, both men are spent. During the match, as well, after pins and kickouts and stuff, like, they both look fucked. Obviously, Kobashi's grabbing the hand in actual pain. Like, he's genuinely, the scream when Suzuki does this lock. It's like he gets his leg. It's a beautiful lock, and Kobashi's like, ah! And in these matches, again, you could be a very predictable match to kind of go, oh yeah, he's going to break it. It doesn't feel like that. He's reaching, stretching for that rope. There's something, you can see the toll Kobashi's being put on because of Suzuki's work, and it doesn't feel like a natural sort of thing for a Kobashi. Again, I've not watched Misawa versus Kobashi. Somehow I haven't yet, but he's watching, and, like, it feels like a very different navigation for Kobashi, but the way he does it, again, it clicks. There's a magic, it really is, there's an electricity in the room. And yeah, the crowd love anytime Kobashi lands a single thing on Suzuki, it's madness, it's peak. This is the pinnacle of wrestlers in our sport, in this industry. 100%. You got, again, there's so many, this is the pinnacle. This is a masterpiece of psychology. It feels like, again, and a great example of just what to do. It feels like there's very little flaws here. Again, that first 5 minutes maybe is a bit too slow. But then again, I think you don't get the emotion and the reaction I got anyway going forward because of the limitation. Again, it feels very calculated. Every single thing feels very calculated in this match. And that's what I love. It's like, again, the limitations, that chop spot, Jesus! And the resilience, the sadistic nature of it, it's all masterfully crafted. And you can't not give it credit. It's for a cup, I think. I don't know what it was. It was for a title or a cup. I didn't notice that till the end. I was like, honestly, who gives a shit? This is a classic. It really is. This is one of the better matches, obviously, by Kobashi and Suzuki. What else do you expect? But, like, in a kind of the perfect way. What you kind of expected from a Kobashi and a Suzuki. They blend, and I didn't think they'd be able to blend this smoothly. Not like when you look at Samoa Joe versus Kobashi again. You can see how those two wrestlers are going to work. But again, with O'Brien and Suzuki, you can see how those two wrestlers are going to work. Moxley and Suzuki, people like this. But then if you see like a Kobashi, this All Japan, stronger built like fuck, versus a technical, more of a sadistic nature Suzuki, it doesn't feel as seamless, but they make it feel like that. It works. It's a phenom. It's one of the best matches I've seen in a long time. It's a masterpiece. It is a great example of most things to do. If you watch it, just search Suzuki versus Kobashi on YouTube. It's there. It's a masterpiece. It's your due diligence as a wrestling fan to watch this. It's masterpiece. Chef's kiss. 10 out of 10. Whatever you want to say it. This is that. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Just screaming like an idiot about Kobashi versus Minoru Suzuki in the NOAH Great Voyage 2005 match. It feels like a dream match. This was excellent. I mean, I feel like light. I feel tired after watching that. Never mind talking about that. Might be my health. Who gives a shit? It's incredible. Please tell me you've watched this. If you haven't, please go watch it. Then tell me what this is. It's a masterpiece. I use that a lot, but really, it's a masterpiece. Watch it. It is phenomenal.